Welcome to the NOFSRL. Six races remain in Season 4 of the NOFSRL Trinity River Cup Series for 2022. With those 6 left, we arrive here back in the state of Wisconsin where we were 2 weeks ago before the break for the international trip to Japan. We arrive back in the state of Wisconsin here at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin for race number 21 of the 26-race season. This is the Sargento 400K. We are more than ready to get it going, but real quick, let's take a look at the top 10 of the point standings coming in, because the gap shrunk once again after Twin Ring Motegi. The gap now down to 50 points between Kyle McLeese and Nicholas Samadeo. McLeese with 574 points toward the championship, 50 ahead of Samadeo, 74 ahead of Biller, 86 ahead of Trey Wright, 92 ahead of Colin Teague, 101 ahead of Elijah Gordon, 109 ahead of Alejandro Cruz Jr., 125 ahead of Marty Sakala, and 129 ahead of both Paul-Antoine Sierra and Ace Garcia. Garcia last week's winner, now a 2-time winner on this season, would get the tiebreaker there over Paul-Antoine Sierra for the 9th position. That is the top 10 of the point standings coming in. We're more than ready to get it going here at Road America. So let's go down trackside. We'll get you starting lineup so we can get this show on the road. And the engines come to life here at Road America. 40 going to roll off from the grid. It is Priya McShane for Ruby Motorsports on the pole position. Starting alongside the 84 of Vegas and Atlanta winner Marty Sakala. Row number 2, we find Jacob Thibodeau, who has come so close so many times in that Pacific Camel Racing Toyota. Could have happened today here at Road America. He started alongside Nicholas Samadeo. Row number 3, we find Priya McShane, the pole sitter's teammates. William Brock there, starting alongside Sebastian Kugelon. Row number 4, we find Richmond winner Christopher Alphaby. Next to Dover winner Samet Osgin. Rounding out the top 10, we find Brock Nelson, the 18, starting alongside Kansas and Gateway winner Kanan Biller. That is the top 10. Looking through the rest of your standings, I believe we have everybody rolling off the grid here, and we are more than ready to go for 13 laps of action here at Road America and Elkhart Lake, waiting for that green flag to come out, and the Sargento Just Say Cheese 400K from Road America gets the green flag. Let's get this show on the road. The run down to turn number 1, Sakala sticks to the inside of McShane as they head through 1, now into the Brick Stratton sign. Into turn number 2, and now into 3. McShane leads the way. Sakala second. Mr. Edge into that 3rd position around Jacob Thibodeau. Thibodeau off behind. Mitchell Collins spins off the track. Little bit of damage on the side of that car. We'll get that replay on the bottom quarter. But as they head off into turn number 5, everything reasonably clean, at least going through this corner so far. Never mind. There goes Monaco into the back of Thomas Troxel, and around goes the 25. Troxel will keep going, at least for the moment, but a couple of other cars get damaged. Dale Lightning and the 05 of Alejandro Cruz Jr., who comes in the top 10 of the point standings. That is not something that Cruz needed. But here we go as we head down through the carousel now, as McShane still leads the way. Sakala second, Mr. Edge in 3rd, side by side for 4th between Sebastian Kugelon, who only has 1 career win to his name, Gateway 1 season ago. He is side by side with Jacob Thibodeau as they head down through the kink, and Thibodeau will have the advantage on Kugelon. William Brock and Samet Osgin and Alphaby even will get around the 82. But now as they head down into Canada Corner from Kettle Bottoms, now through Canada Corner, up by Thunder Valley, and the Bill Mitchell Bend, turn 13 right here. And then one final corner, turn 14, and then onto the Road America straightaway. And that completes lap 1. That is 1 lap around Road America here at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. We'll have to do that 12 more times. And of course, pit cycle is coming about lap 7 or 8 in this one. So we're going to see pit strategy. It could shake up the standings depending on how close everybody is when they do come around. We'll have to see how it goes. They head off into turn 1. The leaders off in turn 2 and turn 3. Slowing up, making it through very well as they'll head on to the second straightaway of the track. They'll head through turn 4 under the Sargento Bridge here. And then into the Moraine Sweep, headed for turn number 5. McShane with a steady lead right now over Chick-fil-a. Nicholas Samadio, they're still in that third position. Where's Kyle McLeese? Sits in 24th right now. The Best Buy colors. See, Eric Monaco made it into the pits, and there's McLeese in the 59. They head into the Moraine Sweep. And up the hill into turn number 6. Heading for Hurry Downs just out of turn number 7. And into turn number 8 just before the carousel. McShane slides a little wide, as does Mr. Edge. Thibodeau slides wider, though, and Brock is going to be right there going through the carousel. But not close enough to make a move on that 32 as they slide a little wider. But out of the carousel they come, heading for the kink. They'll bypass the bend and go right through the kink. Now down through Kettle Bottoms. Approaching turn 12, Canada corner. Everybody else making it through so far very well. It's McShane leading the way. Chick-fil-a, Samadio, Thibodeau, Brock. Then Oskin, Alphaby, Kukulon. Roberto Crown Jr. has actually gotten around Elijah Gordon. So it's Elijah Gordon in the 10th position. And we scroll through the rest of your field here, and where in the world is Kyle McLeese? Oh my gosh! Kyle McLeese, the points leader, has crashed out. Humongous damage on the 59, and the points leader has found huge trouble here in the Sargento Just Say Cheese 400K. And with Eric Monaco back out on the racetrack, it looks like that is going to relegate the points leader to a last place finish. Humongous damage on the Best Buy car, and teammate Scott Upton coming down the pit road as well. Big damage on the front of that Verizon 5G Chevrolet. So we will surely be taking a look at that in the post race. I think we'll relegate all replays to the oh my goodness! Now Samadio is running to the back of Chick-fil-a. We'll see if he has to come down the pit road for that. I would not come down the pit road if I was him, because Samadio has an opportunity to gain a bunch of points now on Kyle McLeese, who looks like his day is going to be over here on lap number 3. A chaotic start to this one for sure. So I think we'll relegate all replays to post-race here, and we will take a look at it then once this race is over with. But now, side by side, that's Kukulon on the inside of Crown, who almost gets off into the grass. So Kukulon will hang on. Gordon's going to go for a run on Crown into the kink. And no. There's a couple of Wisconsin teams right there. Wisconsin Racing Enterprises and Logan Sport. The Logan Sport car getting the advantage over the WRI Chevrolet of Elijah Gordon. Up front, it is still Priya McShane leading the way. She's led all the laps so far. Jacob Thibodeau leading this line from 4th, 5th, and 6th right there. And the Richmond winner, Christopher Alphaby, having a good run as well. Side by side, though, for the 10th position, Brock Nelson going after Elijah Gordon. And it looks like Nelson, the Australian-based team, is going to go into that top 10 unless Gordon can work back by in that 24. Actually, never mind. They're not battling for top 10. They're battling for 11th at the moment. So it'll be Nelson ahead of Gordon, although we'll see. Heading off into 1. Gordon's got a good jump there. And it looks like the target car is going to hold on to that 11th position. Kanan Biller actually caps off the top 10 for the moment. Samadillo, of course, as I suspected he wouldn't. He's not coming down the pit road despite the damage on the front of his car that he sustained running into the back of Marty Sakala as we head off into turn number 5 once again. All things reasonably steady now as we're all just trying to make it to the pit cycle here in just a handful of laps. This race only being 13 laps, we're expecting the pit cycle to be around lap 7. So we'll keep all eyes peeled back for that. As the story, we'll talk about Pacific Camel Racing here for just a second. Justin Zeidel is running in the 33rd position. Braden Perez, there you see in the 47, is running in the 18th position. But the flag bearer for the team, no doubt, has been Jacob Thibodeau in this 32. A stake in the team that is shared by both Brennan Wilmington and Derek Hamill. Hamill has the 47, and Wilmington has the 62, but they share the stake in this car, and when good minds think alike, great things happen, and Thibodeau has definitely been the epitome of that. Running up in the top 5 once again. Has not won in his Trinity River Cup career that dates back to 1 season ago. He had his own team, Thibodeau. I don't remember what he called the team, but he owned the team and drove the 33 car. Now with Pacific Camel Racing, he is running in the top 5 once again, a position he has become well accustomed to. As we see some other cars down to the pit road, see Collins there in the pits, and Ace Garcia has gone into the pit area. Wonder what happened to that 52 car. He started deep in the field. We'll have to see. But now as they head onto the back straightaway with the Sargento Bridge just ahead. Just above, I should say. And off down this straightaway into the Moraine Sweep. Headed off into turn number 5. William Brock getting awful close to the back of Sam Oskin. Runs into the 83 a little bit. Oskin actually got around William Brock when they came around the start-finish line this last time through, so move Oskin into the top 5. Brock back to 6th. As all things now, of course, reasonably steady, deeper in the field. Ace Garcia is going to come back out on the racetrack. Some damage to the back end of that car. And it looks like Mitchell Collins has some damage on the right and the rear. Oh, Samadillo's going to go a little wide in the carousel. Get on the rumble strips, though. He won't go all the way off. Thank goodness for that. Off out of the carousel, bypassing the bend into the kink once again. Down through Kettle Bottoms. And headed off into Canada Corner. Coming to the end of lap number 5 here at Road America. It's been a I wouldn't say clean. It hasn't exactly been a clean one. You see a lot of cars have sheet metal damage as a result of running into each other, pretty much. Swinging wide there, Keegan Thompson down to the inside of Alejandro Cruz. That's very deep in the field. That is for about the 29th position, I think, and it'll be Thompson taking it away from Alejandro Cruz Jr. Cruz, who is in the top 10 in points again, not having a good run at all right now. Teammates side by side, though, for the 12th position. That's Texas winner Mitchell Henderson on the inside of Brock Nelson. It's like Nelson will hold on to that position, but up front, the lead gap shrinking ever so slightly as McShane only leads by 0.36 seconds ahead of Sakala now. Thibodeau, Collins, and Brock on top of each other right now, but Collins is a lap down at the moment, so the battle is between William Brock and Samet Oskin. Brock is not going to get to that 83, gets held up by the lap car of Mitchell Collins. The only other car lap down right now, Ace Garcia in the 52. Garcia. Oh, Zeidel has found damage now. My goodness. What in the world happened? Well, I have no idea. So that's another thing to go back and look at in the post-race. We'll either take a look at it then, we'll either take a look at it post-race, or we'll take a look at it, you'll see it in the bottom corner. So, more than likely it's going to be post-race though. So we come to the end of lap 6 this next time through, as Priya McShane has led every single lap so far here at Road America. Marty Sakala rides in second, side by side back here for fourth momentarily. Thibodeau and Oskin. Here's Alphabet getting around the slow lap traffic of Mitchell Collins. And Kukulon trying to get through as well, and it looks as though he will before they get to the Paul Mitchell Bend. Now onto the Road America straight out of turn number 14. Up the hill onto the Road America straight. It'll be McShane coming around to lead another lap. And on to lap number 7 we go, and expect the pit cycle to happen the next time through. Zeidel still there in the pits. Doubt that 62 is going to continue on. So we just ran down through the field there. We'll join back up with the front cars as Collins still holding up traffic. There's Crown and Biller side by side. Biller, a teammate of Mitchell Collins. Team orders may have been attempted to be carried out there to get Biller around Crown, but it's not going to work out. And Biller looks like he might even lose his spot to Elijah Gordon. We'll see as they head off into turn number 5. Still Biller ahead of Gordon, but coming up into turn number 6. It looks like it will be Gordon with the advantage on Biller, potentially through turn 7. No! Looks like it might be Biller, although Gordon's pulling ahead. Biller down to that inside of turn 8 before they get to the carousel. Still side by side, entering the carousel. Biller a little wider, Gordon down low, Nelson slides, Henderson there as well. It'll be Biller ahead of Gordon, hanging on to the top 10 spot. Joining back up with the leaders, Priya McShane has dominated this race so far, but very close behind in that 84, a hungry Marty Sakala looking for his 3rd win of the season. Nobody has won 3 races this year, so Sakala would like to be the first to do that, as pit cycle going to happen now. There goes McShane, Sakala, Samadillo, and we'll see just how many come down the pit road here. Collins will stay out on the racetrack, of course, a lap down. 2 laps down, actually. And we'll see if any of the lead lap cars stay out on the racetrack. Haven't seen anybody do it yet. So it looks like that's going to be everybody. Every single lead lap car comes down into the pits, looking for some fresh rubber, fresh Pirellis, and a splash of Sunoco fuel. And who is going to come off the pit road first? McShane, Sakala, no surprise. Thibodeau, though, is going to jump Samadillo. Oskin will jump Samadillo as well. Oskin's going to jump Thibodeau. My goodness! What a stop by the Sam and Oskin pit crew to get him out into 3rd. Thibodeau still 4th. Samadillo's back in 5th. But even just losing those couple spots, Samadillo is still looking to gain an enormous amount of points on Kyle McLeese, given the point system. Remember, the biggest swing you can get in the race is 44 points. McLeese came in 50 points ahead of Samadillo. And so McLeese is going to get 1 point for a last place finish. And if Samadillo holds on to 5th, that's 36 points. So it'd be a 35-point swing, which would put Samadillo 15 points behind Kyle McLeese coming out of Road America if he indeed holds on to a top 5 finish here. But of course, still 5 laps to go the next time through. Priya McShane still leads the way, looking to just about lead flag to flag here at Road America. Wasn't expecting every single lead lap car to come down into the pits, but by golly, they did. Only 2 cars out of the race right now. McLeese, the aforementioned, and of course also Justin Zeidel we saw in the pits with heavy damage on the Lumen 62. As we come out of the Bull Mitchell Bend into turn 14 onto the Road America straight once again. We'll have 5 laps to go at Road America. Ruby Motorsports, the team has never won in the Trinity River Cup Series. Priya McShane has been coming to life in the latter part of this season. Didn't lead at all in the first half of the season, but has started to creep up the standings a little bit, although only comes into this race in the 31st position. Only 2 prior top 10s all season long for Priya McShane. So will today be the day? This could be a huge, huge upset. And it would only be the 3rd time in series history that a race has been led flag to flag. We'll see if she can hold on for 4.5 more laps. 1 second was the difference the last time through between the 0 and the 84. Osgen there sitting in the 3rd position, looking for his 2nd win of the season and the 6th of his illustrious Trinity River Cup Series career that dates all the way back to Season 1. Now down through Kettle Bottoms once again, heading for Canada Corner. They make it to the turn. Samadeo steady in the 5th position, just ahead of William Brock. And rounding out the top 10 there, Sebastian Kukulon and Elijah Gordon. Out of the Paul Mitchell Bend, into the final turn. We'll have 4 laps to go this time through. Here at Road America, Priya McShane trying to hold on. 16 more miles. The gap did shrink just a little bit from 1 second down to 0.91. A smooth corner for Marty Sakela there in 2nd, trying to close in on that 0. And might have a good chance of closing it even further. Heading off down through the Moraine sweep at turn 5. And into the corner. Good entry by Sakela and Osgen, but a better exit for Priya McShane. Of course, Jacob Thibodeau there still sitting in the 4th position with all the trouble that Pacific Camel Racing has had recently. 2 of their cars are running in the top 15. Braden Perez there, outrunning Paul Antoine Sierre. Jacob Thibodeau 4th, despite Zeidel falling out of the race, as my goodness, Vargas pushes Rose wide, coming out of turn number 7. Now Rose side by side with Brock Nelson in the 18, through turn 8 and heading into the carousel. Rose, the Willow Springs winner, will hold on and continue forward. He sits in the 18th position right now, just ahead of the 18 of Brock Nelson. As side by side through the kink there, Sear tried it on Perez, not able to get there. As we join once again with the leaders, we come around for 3 laps to go at the line. 12 more miles for Priya McShane, looking for career win number 1. Team owner Ethan Farley watching on as well. Had a mixed bag of a year as a single car team in 2021. They did win a race in the Scots National Series 1 year ago. Just one. It was Alex Watts winning at Dover Motor Speedway. But did not win. They had Will Parrish 1 year ago here in the Trinity River Cup Series. Parrish moved on to Fitzwater Collins Racing, driving the 02. There he is. Sitting in the 11th position, his teammate Kanan Biller there side by side with Mitchell Henderson for 12th. But Ruby Motorsports. Priya McShane looking to hold on. 2.5 more laps under the Speedville sign through the carousel. As off into the grass goes Caleb Rose. Christian Vargas now side by side with that 15, heading off into 8. That is for 17th on the racetrack. And Rose will pull ahead of that 46 for a moment. Vargas dives it in on the inside of the carousel. Oh, Rose gets off in the grass momentarily. And out of the carousel, still side by side of the car, off behind. Sliding off into the sand. Ryan Durrani in the 10. He manages to not total his car. Thank goodness for that. As we had to get away, it is Vargas ahead of Rose for 17th, side by side with Lozano and Wright. That is for the 20th position. My goodness, Ryan Durrani, that could have been a lot worse than it ended up being. But now only 2 laps to go in the Sargento Just Say Cheese 400K here at Road America for Priya McShane. 3/4 of a second the difference. And Samadeo trying to hold on for a top 5 to close in the points. Off down the second straightaway. Marty Sakala comes into this race in the top 10 in the point standings, I believe. Yes, 8th. Gained 4 spots in the point standings after Twin Ring Motegi 1 week ago. Came into this race 125 back. He's looking to gain points on McLeese just as much as Samadeo is. Although Samadeo obviously is a lot closer to McLeese than Sakala is. But hey, you never know. There's going to be 5 races left in this season after today, so we'll see. And the next tracks we go to, next week it will be Indianapolis for the Brickyard 400. And then after that, we head back up here to this region. Well, okay, we'll be in the northern part of the United States here. But anyway, we'll head to Indianapolis, and then we head to Michigan for the return of the NOFSRL 500. Armory Digital after that in Seattle, Washington. Then Watkins Glen International in the the Finger Lakes region of New York. And then race 26, the weekend of August 28th. We will wrap it all up with the Best Buy 500 at Homestead Miami Speedway. So an exciting next few weeks of racing to end off the season here in 2022. Hope to see every single one of you then. But right now we still have 1 more lap to go here at Road America. White flags in the air for Priya McShane looking for career win number 1. Ryan Durrani did make it back to the pit area, sitting there on the pit road. Samadeo trying to hold on for that top 5. If he stays where he is, once again, he'll come out with just being 15 points behind Kyle McLeese. But McShane looking to lead flag to flag here on the road course, Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, into turn number 5. Sakala dives it in deep. Up the hill under the Corvette Bridge into turn number 6. See, the pace has really slowed up the later we've gotten into this race. Through turn number 7, heading off into turn number 8. Samadeo there pulling ahead of William Brock for the moment. Looks like a potential for a double top 10 for Ruby Motorsports if both of those drivers can hang on, Brock and McShane. Out of the carousel they come into the kink. The top 4 starting to accordion together here in the final few corners. Through the kink they go, now down through Kettle Bottoms, approaching Canada Corner one more time. Collins there, lap car just ahead. Sakala trying to dive in. Very close to the back end of that 0. This may not be over. Up through turn 13. One slip by Sakala, and that is all she wrote. Priya McShane through turn 14 will come up the hill, and career win number 1 for Ruby Motorsports in the Trinity River Cup Series, and driver Priya McShane gets it done in the Sargento Just Say Cheese 400K at Road America. Sakala second, Oskin third, Thibodeau fourth, Samadeo is 5th, Brock 6th, and then Alphabet, Gordon, Crown, and Kukulon round out the top 10. We watch the rest of the field come home down the Road America straight. There's defending series champion Trey Smith. He'll come home with a 26th place finish. And have Ethan Lewis 27th. Troxel comes home 28th. Cologne 29th. Dale Lightning, defending Scott's national champion, with a 30th place finish. But Priya McShane, for Ruby Motorsports owner Ethan Farley, gets it done and nabs her first career win in the NOFSRL Trinity River Cup Series. Big congratulations to the driver and that team. We'll now go ahead and take a look at all the incidents that happened throughout this race, and then we'll take a look at your finishing results here at Road America. So heading down into turn 3 here on lap number 1, this is what happened to Mitchell Collins there. Trey Wright gets into the back of him, down into Hightower, spins that 43 out into the grass, and Collins was able to continue on, but then we had another jam up down at turn number 5 as the field headed down the back stretch. And a big stack up occurred right about this point of the field. You see cars start to jam it up here, and just behind Ryan Durrani there you see Cruz, Troxel, and then Monaco jam it up, heading off into the braking zone of turn number 5. So what happened to Kyle McLeese, the points leader coming into this race? As he heads through the carousel, he just gets all 4 wheels off into the gravel, and off into the tire barrier he will go. He slams the tire barrier right there, and that brought an end to Kyle McLeese's day. He comes home with a 40th place finish. So on to the 3rd lap into the carousel. There's Collins, just cleans out Ace Garcia, and off they go into the gravel trap. They both back into the tire barrier, but they were able to continue on. So what happened to Justin Zidell? Same thing that happened to Kyle McLeese. Overruns the carousel, and off into the tire barrier goes. Bam! Right there. You just see it. And all kinds of damage on that 62 sends Zidell out of the Sargento 400K. And at the end of the day, it was Priya McShane taking the checkered flag. Congratulations to that team, Ruby Motorsports, and driver Priya McShane. The first team win and the first driver win. Let's take a look now at your race finishing results. So here are your race finishing results at Road America. Priya McShane wins with an average race speed of 109.244 miles per hour by 0.673 seconds ahead of Marty Sakala. Sam Odoskin finishes third, rounding off the podium. Thibodeau fourth, Sam Dio fifth, and then Brock Alphabet, Gordon, Crown, and Kukulon round out the top 10. Scrolling through the rest of your standings here. 35 cars finishing on the lead lap. Durrani, Ace Garcia, and Mitchell Collins unable to finish on the lead lap. Collins finishing 2 laps down. The only cars not finishing this race, Justin Seidel and Kyle McLeese. Those are your race finishing results here at Road America. And congratulations one more time to Priya McShane. First career win. Big congratulations to Priya and Ruby Motorsports. We'll now take a look at your driver's point standings, your owner's point standings, and we'll wrap it all up here at Road America. We'll see you next week in Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Brickyard 400. Until then, y'all take care, stay safe, and have a good one. Welcome to the NOFSRL.